All right, we're rolling live again. Hello, my name is Jared, and this is Does This Work, a comedy podcast where I sit down and talk to comedians at every level. I'm not a professional comedian, but I like talking about comedy. It's fun. My guest today, I'm very excited because he is probably the city's hardest working comedian right now. If you've ever set foot inside a comedy club, you've seen him trying material out. Give it up for Lachy Skinner, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to have some applause right down there. It's just, how you doing, man?
Thanks for that. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Nah, that's all good. It was only like 2 hours from where I was.
And you come just from work.
Yeah. Nah, that's all good, but I'm always driving around. Driving's alright. Like, you just get to listen. I usually just listen to podcasts anyway, so I was listening to this podcast on the way here. So...
And then in 3-4 weeks from now, you'll be driving home listening to yourself. That's cool.
I don't know if I'll listen to myself, I'll be honest.
All right, first question off the bat, Lachy Skinner, the question I ask everyone. Why comedy?
I don't know. Like, I was, what I tell everyone, because I don't want to sound arrogant, but like everyone, all these comedians always say that. I was always the fun, like not all of them, but a lot of them say like, I always knew I was funny or I knew I could come up with a witty remark or whatever. And like, I suppose that's probably what it is. Like I was always trying to, I always wanted to be the best at something, you know, and there was nothing I was necessarily thought I was naturally like gifted at. I wasn't ever that good at sport. And then I got into mechanics. I'm a mechanic. That's my trade. And I always wanted to build like a bigger car and a better car than everyone else. But I never had necessarily the money or the skills. I kept breaking things and I kept doing all this shit. And then one day I was at work and I was really bored. Like I always wanted to be the best mechanic, whatever. And I was really bored at work because there was nothing to do. I was probably just like cleaning like a generator or something, and then it just popped up in my head. I was like, oh, I've always been kind of funny. Why don't I give comedy a crack? You know,
so it's just suddenly popped into your head one day. No one was like, you should do this.
No, not really. No, and then with like, funnily enough, the 2 weeks in between when I'd done like my first open mic or whatever, but. In Perth, the way it goes is like you do your first open mic and then it's like another like month or another 2 weeks at least until your next gig. So funnily enough, I did the first gig and then within those like 2 weeks after my first gig, I had it mentioned like twice to me. Someone was like, oh, you should do it. You should give that a crack. I reckon you'd be good at it.
That's cool.
But I just didn't say anything because it was a secret.
Yeah. You know, it's fun fact. I didn't want to mention it until we were rolling, but it was a year ago today that we met. It was my first gig at the Mad Cow.
Oh, no way.
So it's like, cool that we get to catch up a year on. So you've been doing it for a year and a half.
About that. Yeah. Well, technically... Yeah, I would just say a year and a half. Yeah.
So that's cool, man. Because like, I've spoken to some people that have done it. Like Gavin Baskerville's been doing it 26 years. Adam Bloom has been doing it for 3 decades. So the whole idea for this pod was to chat to people at every level. So like, you're pretty like being relatively fresh. Like, first of all, do you buy into the fact that comedians need like 10 years before they have figured out their voice, their stage persona, all that? Do you buy into that at all?
It depends. Like it just depends how hard you work.
Yeah.
You know, I reckon everything just comes down to how hard you work.
Well, you are literally, I said it in the intro, but you are the hardest working. And I've said this to Lachy before.
But I acknowledge that and thank you. I do think I put in a lot of work, but I also think that that's because you see me and I'm at the start of my journey, you know, whereas like the people you see up on those big stages and whatever, I don't know what they have done when they were in my position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I guess you can only ever work as hard as you can possibly work, right? So that might look different to someone else. That might mean they haven't worked as hard compared to how you work, or they might work harder.
Yeah, well, I just think that there's these people that are on these big stages selling out shows and whatever, that when they were at my stage, they were working harder than me. Yeah. Like Sorry. Anyway, I spoke to, I remember I was driving Rory Lowe. You know Rory Lowe?
Yeah.
I was driving him home from a gig once, and he said to me that when he was at my stage, like year in, he would sit and have 14-hour writing sessions. He would write the same story in a book 14 hours. And that's something I don't think I could do. I'll be honest. I couldn't do that. But what I can do is I can work for, like, I feel like I'm in it for the long game.
Yeah.
Which brings it back to that. Like if I work for 2 hours writing and go out and do at least 5 gigs a week, maybe I'll have something good in the future. I don't know how long, if it's 5 or 10 years, but
it's a great work ethic, like in anything, because and it has paid off. And I think I was saying on this to, I think it was Chris Pacillo the other day. I was saying that we were using it as an example of someone who you can see their material, who's someone who's working on their material, as opposed to someone who, like, say, bombs with the same joke again and again every week.
Yeah.
Whereas you start off with your idea, your premise, it might not hit the first week, but you're constantly tweaking it. And like, because we see you at all these clubs, like, you can see the progression of it in real time until it's working every time. So it's like, and I said this to you before, that like anytime your name comes up and you're not there, someone says Lachy Skinner, so it's always followed by is crushing it, is killing it, is doing so well, is everywhere. And it's like, it's always positive. No one has a negative thing to say about you, man. You're killing it.
Sorry to
no,
that's all
fondle
good.
your balls a little
thanks,
bit there.
Thanks so much. They needed it for sure.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah.
But yeah, no, thanks for that, eh? Like, yeah, it all just comes down to just working and doing the right things, you know? Like, you speak to other people and you got to be open to learn, you know? You get some people that they're a little bit, like, arrogant, I suppose, and they don't want to learn, or maybe they just go, it's not working, I'm pissed off. They don't want to change it.
Stupid crowd.
Maybe something like that. Like, I don't know an awful lot of people like that. Like, I'd like to hope that the majority is open and stuff like that, but I feel like that can be the major, like, roadblock. And it also still comes back to mechanics. Like I am a mechanic. Before I was into comedy, I was into 4-wheel drives. Yeah. And say my car's not good enough, it's not comfy enough. My other mates' cars are doing a lot better. They're doing cooler shit. They can drive the best tracks. They're more comfortable. What do? You just work on what you've got. You know, I had this car, but I couldn't go out and buy a whole new car. You just had to work on what you had, make that better. Next time you take it out, it's better. Yeah. You know, so it's everything. Like, a joke's like a blank canvas, or if it's a car, a joke's like a Corolla. And you want to take your Corolla to like a 4-wheel drive track, and your mate's got a bloody Land Cruiser, and you're sitting there and you're like, but he's had that Land Cruiser for like 5 years.
You can tell you've just knocked off work talking about cars.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy. I've never made it before, so. But you know what I mean? Eventually you'll get that lift kit in the Corolla, and then your Corolla can go half the tracks of the 5-year Land Cruiser guy, and then before you know it, your Corolla's better than the Land Cruiser. All right, let's... New comedians listening to this, don't use that analogy ever. Pretend you didn't hear it.
Well, on that, like, let's say in the last year and a half, how has your life changed amongst your, like, co-workers and stuff? Like, you got clips popping online. Are you, like, to them, like, a famous comedian that they know now?
I'm a secret.
Or
no one
knows.
Nah, really? That's my worst fear. The last person I want to know. Because I'm a mechanic, but I actually work on, like, super yachts and stuff like that. Wow. So I do not want these, like, I already get treated like, I'm not going to say like shit by my work, but like on site, they see this guy, long hair, it's in a ponytail at work, like I'm often extremely dirty, and I'm walking onto $100 million super yacht where the people like their crew they're not even allowed to have long hair. Their crew has to be buff. Their crew has to be this, that, and the other. They don't even like looking at tradies, let alone imagine if they were like, who's this fucking comedian? You're like, you know what I mean?
But then, like, because like you're out there doing it, and there's clips being posted. Like, so like, don't you think eventually they'll see like a lounge reel, or
It might.
or even this, God willing?
Yeah, it might, but it's also like
They might have some respect on your name after that.
yeah, but it's also like I don't think like it's getting that big yet that they're gonna find out. The thing that they would find out would be Facebook, because Facebook's linked to your phone number, and I've got phone numbers of like the clients and stuff, I suppose. But yeah, I wouldn't want my work to know.
Yeah.
Nah, especially because I make jokes about work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about the people at work, just like the nature of the job, I guess. Yeah.
So a year and a half in to comedy, do you like? It's been. I feel like you've been pretty whirlwindy. Like, you know what I mean? Like a year and a half. There's people probably been doing it for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years that are still like, I just can't get it to work. But I feel like you're so on the pulse of comedy that I feel like it feels like you could have been in the scene for years. Was there a time from when you started where you were like shitting bricks to when you were like, did a gig that you were like, holy shit, I'm a comedian? Do you remember what the gig was?
Sort of. Like I had some cool things at the start. Like I started, and like 2 weeks in, I won a competition, and then after that I ended up getting booked for like a couple shows that were like fully sold out.
Yeah.
And like the jokes now, looking at them, were shit. I don't like the jokes that I was saying.
Yeah.
But I don't. So that you're saying, was there a time where you went, oh shit, I'm a comedian?
Yeah, holy
I
shit,
still
like
don't
a
think
realization.
That.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I still don't think that.
Surely there's a gig that
I'm
you've
just
had.
like, yeah, I'm just a bloke that's like giving it a good crack.
But surely there's a gig that you've had where the crowd were just eating it up, loved it, applause breaks, laughs, and then you were just like living that moment, like whereas it's an amazing gig, and you're like, I'm a comedian, this is great. Like,
it probably wasn't I'm a comedian. It's probably like I can do it.
Yeah.
I can
Cool.
do this.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't more like this is me. It was more like, because you bombed so much. You know what I mean? Well, not you, but like that's what
I bombed here and there.
Actually, you're shit. I've come on here to tell you that you're shit. Actually,
After I was funneling your balls this whole intro. That's funny.
No.
Well, like Lachy gave me the best feedback I had on my first open mic, which was he thought I had been doing quit. Yeah, get out. Do what do you do? You know, just stick with music. Which was that not? It was just that he thought I was doing it slightly longer than I was, which was not at all.
Yeah, and it wasn't just feedback from me. It was feedback from my girlfriend as well. She was the one who said to me, "I like his comedy."
I remember that. Yeah, you were like, my girlfriend's too shy, but she just wanted to say that.
Yeah. She wanted to compliment your set, and then I was like, "Just go tell him." And then she's like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like, "All right, I'll go do it then, I suppose."
But I don't know, man.
I really don't want to. But
fuck this guy.
No. I did think it was good. Yeah, it wasn't getting the response that it desered. Was what I thought.
It was a mad cow, and that's fine. But but I don't think I do any of those jokes anymore, because like I think I started off in a way which a lot of us do, for especially first sets or the first few weeks, is like to go offensive. So I had jokes that I would never do now. But when I wrote them, I'm like, oh, that's funny because it's like really offensive.
Yeah.
And it's the joke was that it's offensive, not that there was anything clever with it. So even though they might have been cleverly written and there might have been some plays on words, they're not. It wasn't. I don't think I would use them. It might be one. Yeah. Oh, the music teacher one I think is still one that I'm using today. That I must have used back then.
Yeah.
I think that it was maybe I still got the audio from it, but it might be the one that has stood the test of the last year, which I probably keep. I don't think I'm going to let go of anytime soon.
Yeah, no, that goes pretty well. Yeah,
but no, that was great. And then like we chatted that night, and we, I think we.
That was when you mentioned something like the joke doctor or something.
The joke doctor.
I mentioned something about like books and shit,
yeah,
and I was like,
the cheeky
information.
Monkey.
I gotta get that in.
Well,
you know?
you were the only person, one of the only people in those early days where I'm like, this guy wants to learn as much as me. This guy's like. eager to just learn about comedy. He's a comedy nerd. That's who I vibe with, and I think we've pretty much been the same way ever since. You're like, have you heard of Adam Bloom? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Get his book. He's coming to town. And and then so I've got
that like shout out to Adam Bloom.
Yeah.
That is the best book.
Yeah.
By far.
Last book. I will clip this. The last and only book you'll need in comedy writing techniques, because like it does. And I was saying this to Chris Pacillo, is that it does make you look at your jokes and see it with this new filter.
Yeah.
Even your old stuff, the stuff that's not working, stuff that is working. You go, oh, that's like I could change that, so it applies these like Adam Bloom filters to it.
Yeah, I think he's figured out perfectly, right? Can't remember if he says it in the book or on a podcast. I've consumed a lot of Adam Bloom. You know what I'm saying? But
double-handed as well.
Yeah. Don't clip that. But he says that like, because people say you can't teach comedy, other people say you can teach comedy, and he draws the perfect line where it's like what you find funny and like what you think is a joke is like your funny bone.
Yeah.
Like you have that, but that book can help you make that funny bone and that funny joke or whatever you thought of come out and be as like polished as it can be. You know what I mean? It can stop everything else from failing around it and make that funny thing work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he had positive things to say about you as well. I've got to pass on, because we got to hang out a bit that day when I had him on.
Yeah.
And we chatted about.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, chatted about comedy and magic, because he's into magic as well, because I'm into magic, like close up like magic, making things disappear and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like an amateur magician. But anyway, we talked about magic, we talked about Perth comedy. Your name came up, and he was like, he said, nothing but nice things to say.
Yeah,
nothing nice to say about you.
Nah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So then,
that's great.
So let's talk about your goals in comedy. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I knew it was all good. I just thought I'd give the camera a cheeky look while I do it.
Nah, your goals in comedy. So you obviously, like the fear is that the work crew is going to find out, but like eventually they will. And once it's all out in the open, what's the goal? Is it like TV spots? Is it? Do you want to do like hosting, emceeing? Because you're running. Well, we'll talk about this soon. But you're already running your own rooms and everything as well. What's the goal? What's
The goal is to never touch a spanner ever again in my life.
Yeah.
Like I used to love anyway, like figuring things out, learning how things work. And like I used to love full driving. I still don't mind going camping and stuff. Like that's still all good. But it's just like waking up at 7 a.m. and just going to work for someone else. Like imagine a life where you can do whatever you want. Like, it's not you can do whatever you want, but you're in control, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you get to go out and perform and get paid and do that for your job.
Yeah.
Like, that's an insane thing for me to think about, not having to wake up so early in the morning. And like, it's also like, I still don't mind tinkering with things, learning how things work. But it's also like all the health stuff that comes along with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like you look at these mechanics, some of them that I work with, and they're in their like late 50s, but they're just flogged. Like they're just like so much like bad problems with like just from being a mechanic and like people just drop off, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, because they've probably the last 20 years of their life has probably gone by like that, and they, you know what I mean, without the, and like it's rare that someone will have be in a job like that and have a goal that's like completely life changing and then follow through on pursuing it, because most people will have I wish I could do that. Like I had people come up to me, as I'm sure that you would have. Wish I could be a stand-up comedian. I wish I had the guts to do that. Like I don't know how you do it. Do it. It's not like it doesn't matter in the sense of the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? It's not like we're not saving lives or anything. We're not out here like altering the universe. We're just getting on stage.
Yeah,
and to be fair, the first what was your first time like? Was your heart beating out of your chest? Because that first time I met you at Mad Cow, it was the same as if I was about to get on a stage in front of thousands. my heart was going crazy, and I was like, "What am I doing?" And then I was riding home on a high.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like for you? Were just like the nerves to get in front of a crowd for the first time?
Somewhat, yeah. I can't really remember, to be honest.
Fucking, it's
I
just too
definitely was
successful.
nervous. I definitely was nervous. I don't remember it being like a catastrophically terrible thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time it wasn't like, it was in a sort of harder room than Mad Cow.
Yeah.
And it was like a row of French backpackers, like 7 French backpackers.
Which
a
sounds like
couple.
Mad Cow.
Yeah. But like these guys didn't laugh once.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see him laughing once
Yeah.
throughout the whole show.
This is not funny. Why is he talking about us like this?
Like the MC was trying to talk to him. They could barely speak English.
He's got
and
that.
then,
He's got
I
one
don't
of
know.
the.
Don't know what I did, but I somehow got him to laugh, and that was the best.
Cool.
You know that was like, this is sick. Like,
Yeah, that's cool that you kept going because like I'm trying not to mention too many things that I've said in previous pods, but I've seen guys come through that have admitted and they've said like I'm not doing it seriously. I'm just coming in and out as I please. I'm never going to take it seriously. I don't think I could do that like that. I'm either in or I'm just out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because coming in every 3 months and doing the same 5 minutes and then leaving again, there's no interest in me for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's points to argue. When I started the first like 6 months, I didn't really take it seriously. I still did like 2 or 3 spots a week.
Yeah, sorry. Lachy's version of not taking it seriously is still doing more gigs than anyone else.
But I didn't like I didn't record anything. I wasn't
Yeah.
really writing anything down.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed getting up there and doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I knew there was stuff out there, and then but that was the thing. Like my work was going good, and I was still out like having fun, fall driving with my mates and stuff. And like in the last year, I've just given up everything.
All your mates.
I've literally like I've seen my mates once in the past year.
It's just you and the missus, right? Because she's at a lot of your gigs. Like,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
supportive. Like,
Yeah,
were you with
she's
her
great,
before
yeah.
you started comedy?
Yeah. We've been together for 5 years.
Oh, killer, man.
At this point,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you told her you started comedy and she was like, yeah, good. Did she encourage you to do it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
She says I'm going to be famous. I don't know if that's going to happen, but she always says that. So, nah, she's great. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah. All right. So, a year and a half in, what do you think, if you could go back in time and tell a year and a half ago Lachy about comedy, what would it be? Something to help him get going or something that you've learned? Like the biggest lesson, you know what I mean? That you can help you along the way.
The biggest lesson. No.
Just keep.
I
feel
seriously don't know what to say. It's only a year and a half, man.
I know,
you
it's cool, but like I was gonna say,
it feels like yesterday.
a year and a half ago is not a long time ago, but you were already doing what you should have done a year and a half ago. That's probably why you don't have an answer. A year and a half ago, you started gigging and you started getting out there in
like
clubs.
I suppose I could say to myself like, sit down and work more and write harder, but like.
You were already doing it.
So what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so what? An extra 6 months worth of writing isn't going to make a huge difference on your career.
Yeah.
I don't. Luckily enough, I haven't made any humongous mistakes yet. As in pissing people off and like having. Like that's my worst fear is like having like
burning a bridge,
pissing someone off, burning a bridge.
Yeah.
You know, like. I try not to.
We all try and stay humble and appreciative. I'm just always, and I always say this, like, especially when there's like it's a paid spot or whatever, or a competition and people are nervous about, we're all competing against each other. And I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy to be in the conversation. I'm happy to be considered. And I never take anything for granted in terms of like, I don't feel like I deserve anything. And just like you, if you get out what you put into it, you know what I mean? If you put in the work and you're constantly striving, you'll get what you want out of it.
Yeah, but there's also still plenty of times where I bomb. Like I probably bomb like
but if you're not bombing, you're not
2 or 3
trying.
times a week at least.
Yeah. 2 or 3 times a week. I gig twice a week. You know what I mean? How many gigs are you doing? 5?
Yeah, on average. On average, but some of these gigs aren't like amazing.
Gigs.
Like most of them are like yes. Last week, this is a funny story. I've started because if you're listening from overseas, there's not that much not that many open mics. There's way more comedians than mics in Perth. So what I did was I was just going to this. I went to this bar because I saw they had a microphone and a stage, and I convinced them to let me do stand up at the bar, and there was 2 people in the bar that left. So then I ended up convincing just the 2 bar staff to listen to me do 15 minutes of comedy.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. I just convinced these 2 people, like let me do it. Yeah. The microphone didn't even work. So I was just standing in this bar with a fake microphone, just doing comedy, 10 minutes of comedy just for the 2 bar staff. So
did they laugh at least?
No, they were good. Yeah, it was the best gig I've ever done. No.
That's cool, man. Because it's cool to have your perspective on it. You know what I mean? So when you're coming in to the industry, was it daunting seeing figuring out who's who, who's a room runner?
100%. Yeah. There's so many new people when you first start. There's so many new people you've never seen before in your life, and these people are they have their friend groups, and it's not too cliquey, but it's like they have their things going on, and they have you know what I mean? It's hard to.
They have their inside jokes and they're close knit.
It's so hard.
I didn't feel like I was really. I probably felt after a year in that I was finally in the community properly, because it is one of those kind of things where if you skip a few weeks or a month or whatever, it moves on without you. It's a constantly moving thing.
Yeah.
And then on that, there's people that come in and they're new and they're shaking backstage, waiting to go on, and then you do kind of look at it with this nostalgia. I remember that, and then I get the fact that you can sort of develop this not shell, but filter with people where you're like, well, let's see if he sticks around. You know what I mean? In terms of he could, we'll see if you stick around and go the distance, and then we'll get to know you.
Yeah,
I get. I'm like that, but I get how people can be like that.
No, that's pretty normal with anything. Though,
yeah, that's true.
I mean? Yeah. You get the new kid at school, you got to wait a couple of weeks before he starts. You realize that he puts his toe in his mouth at the assembly. You know what I mean?
Was there a kid like that at your school?
Yeah. There was the new kid at school, and I thought it was the best at I thought I'd be that kid who was oh, the new kid, let's make him feel welcome. Come sit with him, hang out with him. Next minute he's at assembly putting his toe in his mouth, just full sucking on that thing, and I was like, shit, I've done a mischief here. Now you got it. Now I know, wait a couple weeks, feel someone out.
See if he's a toe sucker or not.
Yeah. Or you just you suck on your own toe.
Make him feel welcome. It's okay, bro. Just pop your toes in.
That's normal. I'm almost certain he popped his toe in, and then he started heckling at the assembly, they were saying something, and he was responding.
Was
to
he
it
suckling on it like Maggie Simpson's pacifier, or was he just chewing on a nail?
Going ham.
Oh god, that's weird.
Yeah, he didn't even.
Where's this kid now? Jail.
I have no idea. No, I wouldn't have a clue. He's definitely not on a comedy podcast.
You know he's into feet though. You know he's Googling feet fetishes right now. All right, so from before you started, before comedy, before you even thought about it, did you have any comedians that you were that you not idolized, but that any of your favorite comedians?
Yeah, this is also the point where I lose people. No.
You didn't have any?
No, not really. Yeah. I obviously liked some comedy, but I wasn't a big comedy I still don't have a favorite comedian.
Really? No, yeah, I do.
I have a lot that I like, but I don't really have a favorite. Not really.
And then who did they become after comedy? As in who became your comedy sort of idols, icons, the sort of that you and I want to be like them.
Yeah. Well, I just saw on the weekend Sam Talent. Oh yeah, he was pretty good.
He was here.
I wouldn't want to be like him, but I think it was just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
What he was talking about. I feel like there was some things in that show where I don't know if it was just directed at the comedians, or it was like a comedy thing that I only understood and thought was hilarious because I know comedy really well. But I couldn't tell because I was laughing so hard. I couldn't actually hear the other audience, if the audience was dead quiet or not. So
well, that's how you know you're like, as a comedian as well, new or not, like that's how you can tell that another comedian is good, is if you as a comedian are watching them and you're getting lost in it as well.
Yeah.
You're not trying to guess the, punchlines. You're not looking for balloon pops.
Oh yeah. It was at the point where it was like you can't. Yeah, you're totally lost in it.
Yeah.
And it's not like mechanical at all. Cool. It wasn't mechanical.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when I started watching Seinfeld first, and then just through his TV show and found his stand up, and then shortly after I discovered Eddie Murphy, and he's been my favorite comedian ever since.
Yeah.
His two stand ups have been my favorite comedy specials for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I must have watched him when I was probably not 10, maybe not 30 years, maybe 28 years, 20, something like that.
Yeah.
I was pretty young when I watched him.
Yeah.
And they still... Have you watched them? Because we've talked about this before.
Yeah. I did watch one on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to...
I know, yeah.
Like, I feel like...
You got to write for 14 hours, you know?
Yeah, literally. I watched his first one.
Delirious.
Yeah. The first 10 minutes don't hold up today. But,
yeah, a lot of...
other than that, I think it was pretty good.
See, I think it does hold up. I think all that stuff holds up in terms of it's objectively funny. Doesn't hold up in the sense that you couldn't get away with it today, but that's more a commentary on the shitty world we live in now where you can't say anything.
Yeah.
But like, I think it holds up in terms of comedic value.
Yeah, I feel like if he was around, like if he was refilming that special today,
he wouldn't.
He would have been no. It's not that he wouldn't do it. He might have been able to make a way to make that premise work. You know what I mean? Maybe it would be like back in the day. This is what I thought. You know, like maybe something like that. Yeah. I don't know, but
so what about running a room? So how long had you'd been in comedy before deciding to open a room?
I never wanted to run a room.
Yeah.
I didn't want the hassle of running a room. But here we are, and I got two now. So
shout it out. We'll shout it out.
So we got I don't even have a name for the one at the Billabong. It's just Wild West Comedy Club. Yep. Is the branch somewhat.
I'll stick it up right here. Like that. Cool. And the other one?
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's still there. Okay, you're good.
True. Yeah. I bet you're just gonna change that to like some dude or something.
Cock and balls.
Yeah.
Pointed right at you as well.
Oh, it's just Adam Bloom. But yeah, so Wild West Comedy Club, that's at Billabong Brewing Myery once a month on the last Saturday of every month.
And now you just have comedians in your DMs every week going, "Hey, Lachy, I'd love a spot."
To be fair, it's not that bad.
Yeah, cool.
Like,
do you have to offer spots more?
Oh, for the Billabong, it's invite only.
Yeah, cool.
But and then I got a weekly show at South Street Ale House, Hilton Ha-Ha's. That's what I wanted. Yeah. I wanted like the Billabong Brewing. It's good, and I sell tickets for that.
Yeah.
And it's just down the road from my house, so why not? But the Hilton Ha-Ha's is exactly what I wanted out of a room. If I was to like say if I was to run a room, I didn't want to run a room, but I want to do more comedy. I want to do more spots. I want to MC. I want to do all that, but I wanted an open mic where it wasn't as polished. Like all the rooms around Perth, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like they're a lot of them are like off to the side. There's no background noise or anything, and that is still ideal.
Yeah.
But it's harder to get people in there.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta drag people out from what they're already doing. But the Hilton Ha-Ha's, it's the pub already had some people. Their special on that night is half price dinner.
Yeah.
So there are people coming down for the half price dinner. They go, why not? I'll watch the comedy show that's on. And they have a restaurant upstairs, so not everyone has to watch the comedy show if they're not into it. And they have a bunch of regulars that come back for the show every week. People that get into it. Some people come down exactly for the show. But I just wanted a weekly open mic
that you could do. You just guaranteed minutes.
Yeah, guaranteed minutes, and just where like I can have other people on.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that can work on their stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and I like if someone hits me up for a spot, I'm not gonna like make anyone wait like
a month.
No, but like I'm not saying that there's a problem with. I'm sure other people are totally booked out because they've got these premium rooms.
Yeah.
But because my room's not that great, but there's still an audience. You know, it's a harder room, but there's still an audience.
Yeah.
And if you've got something funny, it's gonna work.
And then, how did you feel about the comedy community in Perth accepting your room as like were you worried that there's someone was going to, because I have this self-deprecating self-talk thing where I'm like, well, who do you think you are starting a podcast? Why would
yes I was so worried.
Talk to me about that. Like what was the thoughts process?
I was like the first show at the Billabong, I was dying. I was like sitting there like oh no, it's not going to sell any tickets.
I was there for that one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, everyone's just gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna do his rooms. He's a shit room runner. He's a shit comedian. Like that's what I was thinking in my head. The Friday of that show, I think I had like 6 or 7 tickets sold. Yeah. And I was just like, nah, it's gonna be terrible. Like no one's coming. I've given out 1,000 flyers. So I went out, I got 1,000 flyers printed. I was handing out flyers at the shops every single day after work for like an hour and a half, just trying to push tickets. I'd spent like 150. It's probably not enough, $150 on Facebook ads in the area. But I thought these flyers were working, you know? I thought, I was like, I've got to have something here. And that Friday I had 6 ticket sales, and I was like, this is never gonna work. No one's gonna respect me.
The place did pack out pretty well.
Yeah, pretty much sold out. The first 2 shows were pretty much at capacity. Yeah. And then the last one we just did, it was way less. There was probably like 15 people in, but pretty good response. Like they were a pretty good, pretty good sort.
I mean, you can get 15 people at one of the other rooms you mentioned as well, so it's still good.
Yeah, and then you found I was happy with the last show we had.
And you found that everyone was pretty like there's a lot of Facebook groups. In fact, if you are getting into comedy, jump into one of those Perth Comedy Collective on Facebook, because it has a list of all the open mic nights that are in Perth. Locky's is on there now, and in that page, I found that people were so, when you started posting about it, people were so supportive and welcoming, and they're like, "Let's give a big hand for Lachy, everyone. He's starting a room." In a completely non-facetious way. They were completely supportive.
No, and then everyone's pretty good, eh?
Yeah. So no, well done, man. It's good.
Thank you.
Oh,
keep fondling.
I know, it's too much. I need to start kicking a little bit. All right, I'm going to start punching down on you. All right, so what about that moustache, bro?
Hey, this is Movember last year. It's still going strong, guys. I'm just waiting for it to come in before I cut it off. I'm just kidding.
Because Adam Bloom was like, "You get rid of that thing," and
he said it doesn't work.
It's the one piece.
He was doing this course, and I was in the course with him.
Yeah,
and it just out of nowhere it came. He's like, "You got to think about your look and this," and he's like, "That moustache doesn't work." And then he just goes back to his shit, and he's like, I'm just toying with him. And it's like
he mentioned, oh, that's right. He was like, I hope he doesn't think I was teasing him, and I was like, no, he knows, because he said he called 2 of my jokes dog shit. Like in the course, he doesn't like to call it a course. And when we were hanging out after the podcast, I was doing like a bit thing with him, and he was like, he liked the premise, but he didn't like the setup. He didn't like how I pitched it to him, and he's like, no, that was dog shit. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But like,
I just
you
heard
and
that
me,
on the way here.
Yeah. But
yeah.
you and me, like on that day, he said stuff about like, he's like, that was dog shit. Shave the moustaches and whatever. And he was like, but I appreciated it so much. Hearing that because the way he said it was hilarious. He watched my 5 minutes and then he was like, yeah, those are great. Do you guys have the word hack here? And I was like, fuck. And then I knew the 2 jokes. He was like, because there was 2 jokes there. I'm like, is it like, thanks mum, thanks dad, or whatever? And he's like, yeah. What are you doing? And he's like, get rid of them. They suck. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I didn't take offense because I needed to hear it because I knew it, but I was like too comfortable using those bits. And we all know each other's, sets by now pretty well. But like some of that stuff at the beginning ties into the stuff at the end. But my thing was like, but how do I get rid of it when I do callbacks? Is my whole thing, which he doesn't really think is a necessity, is callbacks. And I was like, oh, I love callbacks. I just love this neat package of like presenting the audience with this like perfect circle. All right, so then and then you took that well, I took it well, and he was, I think he only did that to us because we knew we could handle it.
I get a lot of shit for my moustache, don't worry. Like, I work on a trade. It's fun.
All right, so then what about anyone listening to this or watching this or clicking on who's like, I want to find out, like you and me a year and a half ago, who were Googling like how to get into comedy and stumble across Does This Work, a comedy podcast. What would you tell them to do to get into it and to get over the anxiety and get over the self, talk?
Just do it, eh?
Just do it.
Don't.
That's the wise words from Lachy. He's quoting Nike, and he's
just give it a crack, man.
Yeah.
I give everything
nothing
a
to
crack.
lose.
Yeah, literally.
But, and that's the reason I started this, because I had the same thing, and I said this to Tabo on the last podcast, is that I had this whole thing. I was like, well, don't start a podcast. No one's going to give a shit about your podcast. No one's going to watch it. No one cares. And then I had this thing where I was like, if no one cares, why not do it anyway?
Yeah.
Because if it's true that no one cares, then wouldn't you rather do it then? Like, if they care or not? So like...
Yeah. No one cares about you.
No one gives a shit about you. And your shitty jokes. Our shitty jokes, because we're still technically open micers.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like there's still like a level of... like a division between open micers and pros, or do you feel like it's pretty well open community, like you get along with everyone?
It depends who. Like it depends who. If you think like that, then there is. If you don't think like that, then there isn't.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point, a good viewpoint. Because I don't care. I talk to everyone pretty equally.
Yeah,
I think you're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then what's next for Lachy? Like what's the next 5 years look like?
Oh, 5 years?
Yeah.
I'll only get home by then, eh? 5 years. I don't know. Hopefully not working on the tools anymore in 5 years. Like I literally, I just want this to be a job,
just to be it.
Yeah. But then my other point is I don't care about money, like some comedy rooms they run in the green, like they run on a profit and stuff, but I have not set my business up to make any money. But yeah, this probably just, I suppose once, like I am still saving up money now as I'm working.
Yeah.
And I'll probably just drop what I'm, save up enough to give it more effort, I suppose. And then try and like see what happens from there, do what it necessary to make enough to be able to live off of. So I've sort of got somewhat of some plans, like so when I finish, so I've got like goals like written out on my wall. So this year I'm trying to do like have like a 20 minutes, a solid 20-minute set for Fringe.
Yeah.
And I'll run probably a couple like showcases and stuff like that. and maybe one show where it's like 3 openers maybe, and then I'll do like a 20-minute set on the end. I don't know if I'll go ahead with exactly that, but run a couple fringe shows, have a solid 20 minutes. That's just what I want to have, a solid 20 minutes and perform a 20-minute set. And then next year for fringe, the goal is between 30 and 40 minutes. So that'll definitely be like next year. Next year. So I feel like fringe is this year, but the year after, a solid 30, 45 minutes. Have like one opener to do 10 minutes and then sort of sell my own sort of show, or do like a 30 hour show with someone else. And then the year after that is the hour. Yeah. So that's what, 2028 or something. Yeah, something like that. But the plan is to
right about the time that moustache is going to come in.
Oh, probably. Probably get a van, do the festivals.
Yeah, killer.
Drive. Yeah, but live out of a van and do all the festivals. And
go the distance, man. I think eventually you're going to have to like tell the boys from Rec, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on tour with, Mark Norman. I don't know. Let's leave it there. Thank you, Lachy Skinner, everyone. Big round of applause for Lachy Skinner. Again, there's going to be some applause playing here. You go to any comedy club in Perth, you'll see him killing it, running his own clubs, just been a general champ. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
No worries, mate. It was nice and close.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. See you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye. Fantastic.